Okay, good morning. Our subject today is on the vulnerable population, and the population that we decided to focus on is homeless veterans. Homeless veterans are classified as a vulnerable population as a result of decreased access to key social determinants of health. According to the National Coalition of Homeless Veterans, the top priority for homeless veterans is obtaining secure, safe, clean housing that offers a supportive environment free of drugs and alcohol. Decreased access to health care and social support and family networks are also a major obstacle in obtaining care for veterans, and then also classifies them as a vulnerable population. In addition to the decreased access of social determinants of health, veterans are also having an increased risk for substance abuse, suicide, and communicable diseases based upon their environmental exposures and the exposures they had when they were on active duty. Some biology and behavior associated with this vulnerable population. The behavior can be attributed to several things. However, mostly it's clinical conditions that were incurred while serving on active duty. These type of conditions can include post-traumatic stress disorder, also known as PTSD, traumatic brain injury, and other physical injuries such as limb amputation. Substance abuse and dependency on alcohol can also negatively influence their behavior and also lead to increased rates of depression within this population. Physical health at risk due to environmental exposures, such as unsanitary water and sleep conditions, poses a major risk to their health. And a majority of homeless veterans are single, reside in urban areas, and suffer from mental illness.
The nursing diagnosis that we chose was risk for post-trauma syndrome related to the survivor role or traumatic events that were experienced. Potential health needs for homeless veterans include addiction and substance abuse related to damage of a person physically and or mentally, post-traumatic stress disorder from mental health disparities and traumatic events witnessed and or experienced, and impaired occupational and social functioning due to mental health disorders accumulated during or after time spent in the military. Strengths and community resources that are available in Sioux Falls, South Dakota are Volunteers of America Dakota, which provides services like the Burcock House and Veterans Service Center, and also the Sioux Falls Food Pantry.
When evaluating our proposed contributions to the homeless veteran population, one of our goals was to ensure that we are able to reach a large majority of the population. We will evaluate and track our progress using an online database similar to that of an electronic medical record. The veteran will be assigned an ID number unique to them, and when it is pulled up, information regarding resources that have been educated on and utilized will be there. This will help us to know what we've already helped that veteran with and allow us to recognize any changes that might need to be made. This database will also allow us to see where educational sessions and health assessments have already been held so that we can ensure that they're being held in a variety of locations, therefore reaching out to more people. The greatest barrier to the proposed contributions, as well as the evaluation tools, is cost. In order to set up, implement, and evaluate the goals and interventions, adequate funding needs to be available. A second barrier that we may cross is empowering a veteran with a mental illness to take control of their own well-being. Breaking the feeling of hopelessness for the veterans facing this will be key in getting past this barrier. The needs for homeless veterans will continue to change as the population ages. With aging comes a change in what is needed to live a healthy life, meaning different resources will need to become available. For example, a homeless veteran who has reached the age of 80 will need less resources related to finding a job and more resources relating to healthcare access. Separate resources for elderly homeless veterans will need to be made available.
Collaboration and intervention is where the action takes place and everything comes together. This is the area where It takes the efforts of the individual, the community, and the public health team to make it all happen. The three core functions of public health, assessment, policy development, and assurance, occur in this area. We also look at the interventions, the preventions, and the different practices. So the first thing we need to do is do an assessment of the priority problem in this population, which is mental health, PTSD, substance abuse. It's all kind of intertwined. We need to set up a free mental health screening for the community, and an event like this should be set up in a location that serves the veteran homeless population. In Sioux Falls, this would be the banquet. We need to do this in an area where they have access to it so that they're aware that an event like this is going to take place. If this is successful, the public health team can confidently move on to the policy development phase. In this phase, the team will work together with the population to inform, educate, and empower the desire for care. Once the team is able to educate the population on their condition and give them hope for a better future, the population is much more likely to take control of their problem and continue to get help that they need. This brings us to assurance. When individuals feel empowered to take control of their health, the public health team can give them resources and point them in the right direction to get continuous care. This is the ultimate goal for the population, is to understand, control, and maintain their mental health status with the help of programs designated to assist them. Since many of our clients turn to alcohol and drugs, we need to target this as one of the goals and interventions. We need to introduce other coping strategies, and this would involve ongoing therapy. Another powerful therapy would be to assist the client in setting realistic goals and identifying personal skills. This intervention would be extremely helpful in helping these clients get back to work and get on their feet. The suggested interventions are goals for the client, which ultimately target the positive health outcomes. So we have 3 levels of prevention. As discussed, setting up a mental health station would be like primary and secondary, doing the screenings, and then the tertiary prevention level would be introducing that therapy and helping the individuals cope. As the public health team goes about doing this, they really need to get out on the streets and inform the veterans of this benefit so that they can be knowledgeable and so they can take time to come to these seminars and get involved. So again, assurance is the ultimate goal. This is going to take everybody's commitment. The individual needs to commit, the community needs to commit, and also the system needs to commit. Other resources are available for the homeless population, and the individuals can find these at the specified locations, such as the banquet. So this concludes our presentation. We hope that you enjoyed it and found the knowledge valuable. Thank you.